Hey everyone. So the chapter opens up with Sakamoto training with Heisuke before getting interrupted by basically Nagamo, who's there to tell Sakamoto the facts of the situation, which is basically this is a matter for the order, stay out of our way. And honestly, to an extent, this is one time where I'm kind of siding with Nagamo because as weird as this is going to sound, Taro isn't I don't think emotionally conditioned to handle dealing with killers like this. Like he's so used to dealing with other hitmen because that's the world he's intimately familiar with. With people like these criminals though, who are generally more primal and unpredictable in how they kill, it it does immediately put Taro at a disadvantage by virtue of his no kill code, which which will take it which will be taken advantage of that without a hint of remorse. Even though it is played up for laughs, I do like how Sakamoto being labeled a rank B on the hit list does kind of illustrate that point that, yeah, for as formidable as he still is, his no kill rule is a very exploitable weakness. Exploitable weakness. The question is, though, is how Suzuki even addresses that problem within this arc, though, because as much as I don't want to preempt my disappointment, it feels like there's only so few routes he can take this. He can take he can take this. He can take this one without kind of still resorting to how all other fights resolve, which is him somehow stopping them but not killing them, kind of thing. Like I don't know, it's like we pretty much know it's like that not killing them is off the table for the obvious reasons I just laid out, and but the other that might be a potential reason is maybe using a little finesse and Nagamo's cooperation. Maybe Taro can work some way around that, around his own weakness. I don't know, but even then, I'm not sure what the answer would be here exactly. Like, it feels like this. It feels like this. The, it feels like this was this was explicitly done in order to kneecap Taro in some way. Um, in saying that though, I do like how this chapter does also show the perspective of Shin asking these questions through the lens of the fact that the enemies are going to be more dangerous, but they, meaning himself and Liu, have remained relatively stagnant. If they do want to keep doing this, then it's required that they get stronger at this point. Which, yeah, it needs to happen, and I agree. And I do like how all four of them are kind of all at least three of them, Heisuke, Taro, and Shin are all thinking and reacting in kind of the same way as it opened with Taro training to get stronger and following through with Shin thinking more or less the same thing, trying to think of a way to improve themselves, and now they're going to have to think on the fly as Saw appears before them, ready to kill. And we get a very interesting bit from Saw himself about his background and philosophy, that Saw was basically ex-military, which is already scary enough in itself for a killer to be from the military, and but knowing that we also learned his philosophy that for him, killing is making someone wallow in. It's about making someone wallow in despair and hopelessness before killing them. Like he wants people to suffer just in order to see that look of pain on their faces before he murders them. And it shows Saw is a man who truly gets joy out of killing, to the point of it practically be an art form to him, and in his mind. And in my opinion, that is what makes him the most dangerous of the bunch. The fact that he finds so much joy in the kill itself. So yeah, and now, if I did have one problem with this chapter though, and it's a very minor one, it's that after it's the fact that after the insanity of last chapter and cutting to the beginning of this chapter, there was a bit of a whiplash feeling for me. Like like I have to keep reminding myself that Suzuki has that this is Suzuki's way of doing things, but it's one of those things where unless there's a fight scene going on, he'll end the chapter on a cliffhanger and do a very hard cut at the beginning of the next chapter, focusing on something completely different. Like it was so weird from that. It was especially weird in this case where the last chapter ended on a car chase, on a high octane car chase scene, and then we basically cut to basically Taro training with Heisuke. Like again, it was that very hard cut that gave me a little bit of whiplash, but but again, it's not a major problem. It's just kind of it's just a little bit of okay. Okay, I have to readjust my brain in order to read this chapter. Like, yeah, it's kind of one of those things. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I got for this review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Blue Sky, and let's Crunchyroll, be sure notification bell, the subscribe button, and just share the ring, guys. Dark Knight Anime signing off. Later, everyone.